Rachel Zegler will next appear on stage in the West End revival of Evita. This is being spun as a great success, but the reality, of course, is that no studio wants to put her in another blockbuster feature film, not after Snow White is fully expected to bomb, and it is so because of her. Let's dive in. Snow White is nearing release, and the press for the movie is picking up. Sadly for Disney though, none of it is any good. The Daily Mail, for instance, led with the piece shocking new claims about woke Snow White star Rachel Zegler as Disney ramps up damage control after controversy, which reads, Snow White star Rachel Zegler is out of control and causing major headaches for Disney ahead of the movie's release, an insider has revealed. A source told Page 6 the company doesn't know what to do with Zegler, 23, because of her repeated insistence on airing her progressive views. Case in point, she made a splash after Trump won the election, in not so many words making it clear that if you didn't vote against him, she did not wish your custom. This point of view, however, does not necessarily reflect that of those who hire her to be in and sell their products. Oh, I have no doubt that the powers that be at Disney who hired her for Snow White in the first place did so because she was an activist, for they themselves were activists. But that was years ago by now, whereas today Disney corporate needs to make some money again, so that very activism that they used to cheer on is no longer in vogue, and thus Zegler's inability to shut the hell up has become a problem. The article continues. While Zegler was put front and center of the film's European premiere, the leading lady wasn't given the chance to speak to any global press, because they weren't invited to the secret event. She jetted off to a remote castle in Segovia, Spain, to perform for around 100 select VIPs, which included influencers and families, though the event raised eyebrows as she was the only star in attendance, with not even Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen, present. Yeah, that is not a coincidence. Zegler and Gadot stand on opposite sides on that whole Israel-Palestine issue, which would have been fine if they were both able to work together in a professional manner. However, indications are that at least one of them is not, and it isn't Gal Gadot that Disney is worried about, to put it that way. The article continues with Zegler though. She's an outspoken 20-something, and Disney chiefs have called her directly and asked her to tone down her posts. They've called her management, but she won't listen. It's been this way the entire way through filming, but it's the tying of her politics to Snow White that is upsetting. Upsetting it may be, but pray tell, who is responsible for that? I submit it's Disney, because Rachel Zegler is a crazy who is bred on TikTok and in the Hollywood bubble, both of which are places where political virtue signaling, up until very recently, has been lauded and commended. And again, some other crazy at Disney hired her because she was an activist that embodies the activism this movie is retelling, so all of this is in the end on Disney. Jumping forward though, the article writes more about the scale and scope of these press events. Zegler's co-star Gadot was absent, with only director Mark Webb accompanying Zegler to the event. The scaled-back European event replaced the glitzy London premiere that had been expected for the high-budget release. An LA event is also said to have been scaled back. Earlier this month, an insider told the Mail, Disney are already anticipating an anti-woke backlash against Snow White and have reduced the media schedule to just a handful of tightly controlled press events. That right there shows that not only does Disney not have any faith in their star, they also don't have any faith in the movie itself, because if they did, they would have more publicity events with a wider range of attending journalists. As it is, it's just a single-digit number of small-scale events, with hand-picked journalists and influencers, ensuring that Disney can control at least some seed articles that they hope the rest of the entertainment media complex will pick up on. Indeed, the article confirms this, saying, later this week, the cast will return to the States, with Zegler and Gadot expected to attend a pre-party and screening at LA's El Capitan Theater on March 15th, where coverage will be limited to photographers and a house crew. Disney is leaning towards having influencers to interview Rachel and Gal for promotion days on Sunday and Monday, an industry insider told Page 6. They want to concentrate on the content. And then comes the embarrassing part, because the question is, which influencers are these? Remember, ever since the election, the political and cultural left has bemoaned that they do not have a Joe Rogan of the left, conveniently forgetting that they used to have someone like that. His name was Joe Rogan, and he was of the left until the left left him. Likewise, which major influencers can Disney rely on to spread their message of diversity, equity, and inclusion? A message which generally doesn't attract any organic audience of any note. Well, the article answers this. There didn't even appear to be many big names from influencer circles in attendance at the European event, as the Spanish content creators in the crowd boasted mere thousands of followers, rather than millions. In other words, your favorite YouTubers are unlikely to be in attendance at any of these events. Still further illustrating that the real problem is and always was Disney. Rachel Zegler is merely a symptom, the article continues. In another huge blow for the film, Zegler even refused to sing the beloved song Someday My Prince Will Come from the 1937 classic, stating it was weird that the movie focused on Snow White's love story with the guy who literally stalks her. We didn't do that this time. I was scared of the original version. I think I watched it once and never picked it up again, Zegler told Variety in 2022. Those comments did not age well, let's put it that way.
Yeah. Weird.
Instead, at the European event, Zegler belted out brand new feminist anthem, Waiting on a Wish, as she gave fans a taste of what to expect when the 270 million remake hits theaters on March 21st. Zegler said her character is not going to be saved by the prince. She's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the girl boss she knows she can be, Zegler said when she spoke at Disney Expo last year. Jumping forward towards the very end, the article concludes, Disney is said to be terrified. The constant drumbeat of bad publicity will put moviegoers off seeing Snow White. The entertainment giant has vowed to move away from woke, preachy movies and TV shows, but Snow White and the casting of Zegler came during a period when Disney was all in on DEI-type policies, meaning the movie may struggle to cast off that reputation. That assessment is of course entirely correct. All of this is ultimately on Bob Iger, because it was on his watch the company-wide wokeness that led to the movie under this vision, and Rachel Zegler being cast for it, happened in the first place. If there ever was an example of reap what you sow, it is Disney's live-action Snow White remake. In short, they all effed around, and now they're finding out. In the case of Disney, that activism no one asked for is expensive, and in the case of Zegler, demoted from blockbusters to the West End. That wishing more than half the audience no peace, because they voted the wrong way, isn't how you win audiences over. So, are you even planning on seeing the movie, or just looking forward to the fallout from it? Let me know in the comments.
It's Hollywood, baby.